Welcome back to your daily dose. This is part 3, as we sometimes get into series, of what I'll call customer service. My name is Robert. This is Susan, and customer service and communication. And, how yes and exercise, improvisational skills play into that. Does that pretty well encompass where we're at right now for you, Susan?
It does, and I'm excited to dive into the communication part.
Super. The I'm going to just hold that for just a second because I put a cliffhanger of time, and I want to address that first. Time and our attachment to the construct of time, which is a human thing, right? That we put minutes and hours, days, weeks, months onto things, changes everything. The tangential thing I've been experiencing recently, which has been so interesting to me, as I'm training for this marathon, I feel like I can run almost not effort-free, but pretty close to it for 15, 20 miles right now when I release time. When I'm not worried about being home or getting
Yes,
to the next thing or
yes,
whatever, when I say, I'm here to run the distance I need to run because that's what I'm here for, my mind is free. When I'm running with got to get home because I got this meeting to get to, this, that, and the other,
mhm.
my body changes. The whole experience changes. What do you think about that attachment to time and the visceral physical response that you get?
I think it's in addition to an attachment of time. There's that like opens the door for emotions and stuff that aren't part of the process of what you're doing, which is a run.
Correct.
And when you can fully devote yourself to the thing you're doing, there's a kind of wholeness and purity to it that allows that flow state.
There it is.
Yeah. But anything that comes in as an imposition on top of that.
Right. That takes you out of that
Mhm.
no longer allows you to be mindful, like you said, of being present. All of that adds up to me as well. So tying that back to an expectation. I wanted to have this done by X day, which meant that this approval, the inspection happened, this backyard project, it happened. And therefore there would be one more contractor coming in to add his bit. And then there would be the next day of pouring the concrete, which would then lay it out for,
Question.
go ahead.
Did you communicate your vision of the time portion of this to the company and the concrete guys and all the
The
various?
concrete guy, yes. The company, no, because they were neither here nor there. That basically they needed the concrete to, they do need the concrete to cure for 2 weeks before they come to build the
Sure, yes.
building on top.
So
So yeah,
whatever was going to happen like yesterday and today and the day before and stuff, did you communicate to those subcontractors if
to the
that's the
concrete guy, yes, because
okay?
he was the direct one doing the work. Yes, and we were on path to make the pour by the day.
And the problem that came up was not because of the concrete guy, but he then had to deal with it.
He followed the plans that were done by the lead company, and I didn't recognize they were incorrect until I saw the physical layout of it. And that's some of the disconnect between me and the lead company. They go, well, shouldn't you have? And it's like, okay, were I a general contractor watching
Right.
and sitting out
You
there,
would
it's
have
one
been
thing.
on site, right?
It's not my job to sit there and, did we have a conversation? Yes. Was he following plans? Yes. The plans were incorrect.
Disconnect, right? Yes.
And that's where it's like every other thing they talk about what I could have done to me seems to come from their perspective, what they would have done. It's like, I'm not you. I'm the customer.
And having identified that with them and that you're not a general contractor, you're at a little bit of a disadvantage because it's right outside that window and they know you're home. So they somehow translate that and make that into
Yeah,
you're engaged with this process. Well, you're not. You're on this side of the window doing your job,
that's
which is
right.
not on that side of the window doing their job.
That's right. I'm on this side of the window being this guy. that is my job.
Yes, who's
And
juggling a bunch of stuff.
yeah, yeah. So that's the conflation of thought. That is a good disconnect to point to and move forward. You said on our next episode, or you wanted to talk about what part? I'm sorry, at the top.
Well, communication, but that's what we've been,
Okay, good.
that's
Well,
where we've
we'll wrap this in our next episode, part 4
been.
of this communication.